Alright guys, we're back with an install video for the coolant system self-bleeding kit from Speedwerx. I've been doing some prep work up until now. First part was taking off the skid plate, which is part of the floor. Spans from behind the seats to in front of the front firewall. And it wasn't too hard to do, just have to get up on jacks so you can get underneath it. It's a bunch of wafer head screws and just drops right out. Second step is removing the bleeder from its clamp. The clamp was right here. This clamp is no longer needed, but this bolt needs to go back in because it's also the support for the oil tank. So right now I'm going to remove the bleeder cap and replace it with the part that Speedwerx gives you. So because my system is empty, I should not have any coolant up here. This thing's pretty tight and you're not going to get it off by hand. Okay, so that's dry. As you can see, it's got some red Loctite or thread sealer on it. I'm going to go ahead and use some glue on mine. This is a pipe thread, so it should be pretty well sealed up. Now, the cap and this new fitting are both 7/16, and this nut down here to hold it is 1/2 inch. At this point, we'll remove these zip ties. We'll add the hose to the fitting, and then we'll reroute the tube down in front of the fuel rail, more towards the firewall, and then go down, follow the existing coolant lines. You can see here that I have the new hose attached with the hose clamps that they provide. Those nuts on the hose clamps are 1/4 inch or 6mm. Now, if you follow this hose back, it goes, let's see if you can see that, goes right into that fitting there. Let's see if I can get that from a different angle. Right here. So we're going to thread the hose back into there and then down this way. And then we're going to follow those coolant lines all the way to the front, go up behind the radiator, and then we're going to connect to the line that goes between the radiator and the reservoir. So the instructions are not real clear from Speedwerx, but they're enough, I suppose. And the pictures are really bad though. They're black and white and they're real grainy. Anyway, trying to figure out how to route that tube, and I think I got it down. So I'm going to go underneath the car. Sorry for the shakiness. I took the camera off the tripod. But so a couple of landmarks here. This here, wrapped in the protective sheathing, that's the hose we're going to follow down. And note this thing here. That's I believe the fuel vapor whatever it is, emissions bullshit. Anyway, gonna go underneath the car and look for that stuff. Okay, so there's the front of the car. These are the tubes we're going to be following to get to the front of the car. But before we get there, here's that tube with the protective sheathing on it. And you can see up there the fuel vapor filter. So this is the tube that we're following. And I know it's the right one because it does tee in to, you can't see it, but it does tee into this coolant line that we're going to follow. See if I can get a shot. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll talk to you in a few. All right, so we're back under the car, and you can see that hose with the blue or white line on it. That is the tube coming down from where I showed you before, and it's behind that tube, and then it comes around there. Got it zip tied. Got to be careful because right here, that's the drive shaft for the front wheels. So you got to be careful to make sure you don't hit that. And then from here, we go up towards the radiator. And I'll show you what's going on up there right now. All right, you can see the hose coming up. And right now I have it just going out the front here. I needed to put a wire on there so I could grab it and pull it up all the way up to here. So now what we're going to do is zip tie it to the frame here, and then this is the line we're going to connect to right there. So that's where the T comes in. Gonna cut the hose, insert the T, and then plug in the hose that just ran, and then we're done. So I mentioned before that this is the hose that goes between the reservoir and the radiator. Can't see the radiator from here, but I'm going to show you where it's going. So it's coming from up there and going into the top of the radiator right there. So that's that. So this is what it looks like all done. And I'm going to put everything back together offline. So if you guys got any questions or comments, leave it below, and give me a thumbs up. And if you give me a thumbs down, let me know why. Thanks.